Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Goes On Kitchen. Today, we'll be taking a break from the 30-minute meal for a little bit, but don't worry, we're going to loop right back around to it and wrap that 30-minute meal up. It'll take about an hour and 15 minutes to make the sauce, but most of the time is cooking in the oven, so not labor intensive at all. First, we're going to cut all the vegetables except the cherry tomatoes. Those will be added whole. No need to dice or chop. Just cut them in quarters or as large as pieces as you like. They're going to cook down nicely. My family and I are working in different ways to move away from commercial food products. For example, we buy meat from local sources, visit farmer markets, and if we do have to go to the grocery store, we focus on the outer aisles and the wall areas. We're doing this because some of these things surprise me, like seeing where sugar's at in ketchup and even a garlic seasoning I've been using for years. In this video, we're going to make our own pasta sauce to avoid sugars or any other ingredients, quite frankly, I can't say anyway. We're going to just get all these chopped up. I do want to point out that it's important that when you cut your garlic cloves, that you cut them down deep enough so that they come out easier when you get this through the baking process. I cut them a little shallow, so I kind of have to wrestle with them in the end. We're going to add all our ingredients and our dry and our olive oil and all that. I did forget to add the basil, but trust me, it's in there. Our first trust moment is over basil. Okay, we've got it in the oven for an hour. We're going to pull it out and take a look at it. It looks terrific. The house smells great. We're going to set it out and let it cool before we move on to our next step. And that next step is we're going to take all our roasted ingredients and put them in the blender. But remember, first we're going to squeeze that garlic out of its husk. We don't want that to get blended up in it, but this is where I was talking about it didn't come out as easy. It should have been. I should have cut it deeper down on the husk. But we get it out and get it all scooped into the blender and get every bit of it in there. We're going to use everything. We're even going to pour the drippings in at the very end because all that seasoning and flavor and juices is going to come together, and we don't want to lose any of it. Now we've made this, and you can put this in a baggie and freeze it, or put it in the fridge for a meal prep later in the week. Anything you need to do to kind of set it up to make it easy, meal prep for the week, or have ready for dinner later. Having the sauce ahead of time will make the meal way under 30 minutes, and when you put it together. If you freeze the sauce, I recommend using a freezer bag as a liner in a bowl. Pour it in and then freeze it. It'll fit better in the pot when you warm it up. Today I am making some garlic bread to go with this meal with thinly sliced sourdough, butter, and garlic salt. We'll cook it on 350 until it gets to the crispiness you prefer. Next, let's cook 2 pounds of hamburger meat. I am not seasoning it as we're going to be adding it to our sauce later, so we're just going to cook it plain. We're going to break out the old ground meat chopper, get it busted up, and then we're going to stir occasionally until completely cooked. We're going to then drain the meat, get rid of all the excess oil. Then we're going to set it off to the side for now. All right, our garlic bread's done. We're going to take it out of the oven. Looks delicious. While I set these up here, I'm going to tell you about the konjac noodles I'm going to be making next. They come from the plant of the same name. Here's a picture of the brand I'm going to be using. They just need to be rinsed off, cut to length, and added to a pot or a skillet until the noodles are dry. That's it. There's a lot of benefits to these. They're low-cal, high fiber. They help with digestive health, and cholesterol. They regulate blood sugar. However, as with anything, you have to use moderation, or they can cause bloating and stomach issues. You also want to make sure you check the ingredients and use only high-quality products. Okay, we're going to add our ground beef back to the skillet to warm it up before we add our sauce back in. We want to get it back to a temperature. We're going to pour our sauce in now. Just coat it in there. We're going to stir it around, let the sauce warm up. It's cooled off quite a bit from when we blended it, so we just want to get everything back up to temperature. The goal is to get this up and then let it simmer on low for as long as you want. It helps with the blending the flavors and just really seasons better if you simmer it. I'm adding some mushrooms and olives because those are my preference and my family's, but we're going to give it a stir, let it sit, and then move on to our next noodle option. That's going to be spaghetti squash. We need to cut it on the short end. Be careful, it can be tough to cut. Make sure you hold on to it tightly or wear a cutting glove. I made that look super easy because I'm in charge of editing and special effects. After we get it cut, we're going to get a spoon and scrape out all the pulp or whatever that's called and the seeds out of both halves. We want to make sure that they're very cleaned out, so when we put them in the pressure cooker, like we're doing now, we don't have any remnants in there, and they cook cleanly. Okay, We have the 2 halves in there. We're going to place a cup and a half of water. Make sure you've got that grate thing that goes in the bottom. We're going to set it on manual for 7 minutes. That's all. It's going to come out, and then we're going to grab it. Be careful, it's going to be hot. It's kind of still hot here, but I'm toughing through it. We're going to scrape it out. That's what it looks like, and it's one of my favorite options for a noodle substitute. The other option is I made angel hair pasta or noodles. I did not film it because it was just boiling noodles. I thought it would be boring. All right, I forgot to turn the camera on. 2 things can be true at the same time. Here are the 3 dishes put together. I added some pepperoncinis, some leaven for a little bit of kick, and I put inert on the toast. Or garlic bread, it's not really toast. If you want to take it up a notch, mix the inert with cream cheese and make a smear out of it. It'll be delicious. The spaghetti pasta is my favorite. Wasn't a big fan of the konjac noodles. They were rubbery, didn't really have the taste. It was more of a texture thing. And then the good old angel hair pasta is my wife's favorite. I hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to seeing you again. And if you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you and have a great day.